Welcome back to the MLG Call of Duty Ghosts game type testing. Icons Conquer, they don't want to play no more, but we got strictly business in here, and we're going to keep it at the same map count as we still have 8 more games to play for the night. It's currently tied up, it's currently tied up at 1-1, Fuse now versus SB. The next map in game mode is going to be Blitz on Freight. And if you're new to Call of Duty Ghosts, you don't know how Blitz works out. Well, pretty much there are 2 goals on opposite sides of the map. Each team, of course, signed 1 goal to protect. All you got to do is enter that zone, and it results in a score for your team. Very fast pace, and you sneaky objective players out there, you're going to love this game type as you're constantly fighting behind enemy lines. It looks like the players, well, they're not ready just yet. You know, they were on the lobby ready to go, it looked like, but no worries. I'll end the game, and I'll restart it, but also, if you miss any of the games played tonight, you could head over to youtube.com/official MLGCOD. All the VODs will be uploaded to that channel. But if you missed the previous games of the day, I'll just recap them for you. The first map of the series between Conquer and Fuse, it was Warhawk Domination. You saw Conquer actually take that one. They lost the first half by a total of 7 points, but then they took the second one by, I believe, a total of 9 points, if I'm not mistaken. But they actually brought out a really close strategy at the start of the second half. They didn't really care about their home flag at all. They just pushed 4 right to B. They capped it. And on Warhawk, I don't know if you guys have ever played Domination on that map, but so tough to capture that B flag in Icons Conquer World. They did it within the first 10 seconds. So interesting stuff on Dom there. But the next one, it was Search and Destroy. We played that first to 8. But honestly, that played out very long. So I think we're just going to wait till one team wins 6 rounds. And then we'll end it there, just like in previous Call of Duties. But okay, it does look like strictly business. They're waiting for one player to join back into the game. They're waiting on Sensor. But it was Fuse. They were able to come out and take Search and Destroy on Octane. Even though, example, man, he went off. He dropped, what, like 15, 16 kills? But just wasn't enough to give his team the win there. But now Freight. This map, there's a train track in the middle, and the dynamic map elements so important, especially on Blitz. Both teams, they're able to close the door to their front warehouses, which is where the Blitz goal is, which is what you want to do at the start of the game. You know, close the door. It could be open and closed from both sides, but there's also a whole underground part of the map. If you shoot the gate or open up the secret door in the white warehouse, you open that up, it unlocks a whole different part of the map, which I definitely think we're going to see these players use. And the player I'm going to be looking out for has to be Sensor. He's renowned for his sneaky objective play. And Blitz, well, it's a game mode tailored for the objective players out there. Just sneak around the map, get behind enemy lines, shoot people in the back, avoid as many gunfights as possible, and then just slide right on into the goal. But I'm going to invite Sensor back into the game. Not too sure where he went. I swear he was here when I started the game, but maybe he timed out or something, or was just fixing up some of his classes. But make sure you keep tweeting at me at MLG with hashtag MLGCOD. Let us know what you think of the new Call of Duty Ghosts game. Are you enjoying spectating this? What do you think of the game types as well? This is going to be one of the first times we're seeing Blitz in a competitive setting, and we switched up some of the settings in the game. You know, we've added a respawn delay, of course, friendly fire enabled, but the one thing I would love to see added to this game mode is a setting to make it so it's not just an instant cap into the goal. You know, you have to just control the area for 3, 5 seconds, probably 3. I think 3 would be most fair. So it's not just you sneak around and then you slide in behind a defender and cap a goal. Yeah, like 3 to 5 seconds I feel would play out best. So anyway, Sensor, he joined the game. All the teams, we're going to be watching strictly business at the start of Freight Blitz. And as I was saying, Sensor, I gotta go right to him. Firstly, what is he using? Okay, I went too far. Alright, so the MTAR seems to be the submachine gun of choice. I've seen the Vector here and there. I've seen the Vepr used a little bit, but for the most part, it's all the MTAR. And let's start things off with Sensor as he's making his way over towards the warehouse. This is where the secret door is, by the way. And if he could, it looks like he might want to close it. I think he just did, but he's going to be throwing some smoke grenades out towards the Blitz goal. Ron, let's switch over to the game screen and show these guys what's happening in game. Now you're watching him, and this is the secret door that I was pointing at, the cart there. That leads to a whole different part of the map, an underground hallway, and You know, it does make noise when you open it, so if you crank up your Turtle Beaches, you can hear it. But too quick. He's going to be controlling top railings. Finding 2 players, takes out 1, FaZe. And he's going to take out his Surfeye as well. And if you're looking at the front blitz door, you see that it's closed. Too quick can open it, and that would allow an easy access route for Sensor. But that is all for down right now for Strictly Business Fuse. They should be rushing up, trying to take middle map control, or maybe sending someone underground to open up the door. Just trying to create as many pathways for their objective guy as possible. So he could just maneuver his way in and out of enemy territory. Easy kill for Too Quick as he finds Sin. And keep in mind, for Blitz, we play 2 5-minute halves, so teams, they play on both sides of the map. And also, if you stand on your goal when somebody tries to capture it, they can't. It blocks them from doing it. So when you go over to the side that fuses, in fact, I'll switch over to them now. Usually you'll see a defender just kind of prone on the goal, watching the back door, while his teammates just keep rotating up on the stairs and clearing out the top of the warehouse. And then you always want to keep your front door closed. And you see the underground access hasn't been opened yet for Fuse. They have to open up the gate, shoot out the lock. But 2 minutes played, no score made just yet. As the general strategy you'll see from teams is kind of like a 2-man defense on goal and 2-man offense. Sin, he's going to let 1 player go by, and that's going to result in the first score of the game coming in from Fuse. And now that Fuse have the lead, I guess theoretically they don't really have to move from their goal, but the way I see this game mode developing is once you get the lead in the game, you're going to want 3 guys around your goal, and you're going to want your objective player just trying to sneak around, because now Strictly Business, they can't really afford to play defense, because if the game ends right now, then Fuse walk away with the win. So Strictly Business, they're going to have to step up their pace of the game, and you see that the constant map dynamics, being implemented here. Always opening the door, always closing it if you're on Fuse. As Apathy, he will be accounted for and taken out by his Storify, who's going to close the door as soon as he can. And you see on the outskirts of the warehouse, it was Fears who was picked up by Sin, just trying to be a sneaky beaver. Storify pushing out. He gets cleaned up. That's 3 down right now for Fuse. Sin, big kill onto Sensor, but he's got to rotate back. He has to defend his goal. Finds 1 more. Can't get the second, though, as Strictly Business tied things up. And they could return to fighting for middle map control, but Sin on the aggression here. He's going to push up towards top round. He's jumping out mid-alley. He's going right for the square. He meets up with 1 player, then slide. Won't be able to get into the goal. That'll be aptly shutting him down. But as there's only 1:30 remaining in the game, there is your scoreboard. Sin 7-4, and Apathy 7-4 as well. So both players kind of mirroring each other in terms of the score, at least. Thing 2 now has to make these defensive plays. As there are a couple of players lingering around his 3rd-story building and over near back lumber. Finds 1 mid-alley. Doesn't connect with the kill. As it looks like they will be able to get that score. Who got that one? It was FaZe. FaZe sneaking behind lines. But his Storify, he lets 1 player sneak by him as well. So both teams just trading cap for cap. As 1 more player back lumber, that will be Fears getting taken out. Sin, he's got to rotate back. It looks like it's going to be Too Quick, just putting on some pressure near the back of the Fuse base. I'm going to switch over to Strictly Business now. As soon as I do that, they take the lead. So clearly there are a couple of holes in the Fuse setup. They've been able to exploit that 3 times now. And his Storify, he was sitting right on that goal, but just wasn't able to make the defensive kills necessary to stop the score. As Apathy, he's just laying on his goal right now. 1 player on the stairs, turn around for the kill, will take him out. But nice stop from Fears, looking out for some more players to make sure nobody from Fuse could pick up the kill. But huge kill from Fears right there. That's going to secure his team the lead moving into the half. He's going to find a couple more kills here and pad his stats. But that was all she wrote for the first half. Sensor, he was only 2-11, but it doesn't matter since his team has the lead. And it was actually Apathy doing the objective work. He's 9-5 with 3 scores. I was about to say 3 flag caps, but this isn't capture with flag. This is a blitz. He's got 3 goal scores. All right, so moving into the second half. I think Apathy is the person I got to switch over to. And here we go. Now, it's only a 1-score game, So we'll see how Strictly Business decide to play it. I do feel that the side Strictly Business was just on, a bit tougher to cap. If the other team gets the right defensive setup going, it's going to be really tough to get that scoring, because usually you'll see, especially if you're watching eights and other teams scrim, they'll have two guys post up near the goal, one physically laying on the goal to prevent the capture, and the other one just watching above him. After he gets stunned, so he's going to break his ankles here, and he gets taken out by FaZe. Unfortunate from him, but it looks like Strictly Business, they're not playing the defensive setup game. They're playing more for middle map control. They're trying to account for everything, but the one thing they're missing is underground. I mean, look at this mini-map. They don't have anybody watching the gate right behind Fierce, so if somebody from Fuse were to exploit that, could result in them, maybe tying up the game. As it looks like SB, they're just trying to put as much pressure onto the Fuse goal as possible. Fierce watching players rotate back, and now it's going to be him playing the sneaker role. And if he plays his cards right, could result in a capture, but FaZe, he's checking every corner in his base. He finds Fierce, cleans him up as well. Center middle map does find two players. Middle chain chat takes them both out. That's going to be 2 down right now for Fuse. Too quick. Connects with the headshot onto Sin. There's an update on the scoreboard. Looks like maybe a couple more kills being made by Strictly Business, so they're ahead in terms of slang, but it's still only a 1-score game between both these teams. You see the front door closed for Fuse. Too quick, unfortunately, he did some shooting at his teammate, and that could get his teammate killed. Who's just sneaking around? It's going to be Sensor. And you can jump from these crates into the top window. I think that's what he's going to do here. He's above the goal, but he's getting shot from the staircase. Stuns go out. He's going to wait for his teammate Too Quick. You see Too Quick moving around to the left, trying to put himself in a position to help out Sensor. As they're making plays for a score here, trying to increase their lead. Too Quick finds FaZe. Here comes Sensor. Slides right in, picks up the score. So Strictly Business, they increase their lead to a total of 2 now, which is a good position to be in. I mean, 1, you're not as comfortable, but 2, now you have some room to work with. You could pretty much make 1 mistake on the map, which would result in a Fuse score. And still in a good position. Sensor finds one top warehouse. He's going to move over. Counts for FaZe right there. I think he also just spotted one over near the left side crates on the opposing team, but does find one front door. Takes out his Surflight, cleaned up right after by Sin. As you see, Too Quick, he's just covering back 3, so he spots one going into his mid warehouse. And I'm actually pretty surprised that no one from Strictly Business is physically laying on the goal. And that seems to be the best way that I've seen to stop goals. So I've seen people capture a goal, then die as the bullets would kind of like go with him as he's teleporting. I've seen that happen. But just laying on the goal, guys, try it out. Especially on the side that Strictly Business is on, relatively easy to defend. You just lay on that goal, get some guys set up on the stairs, always accounting for your flank. Then you're good to go. In the meantime, it's going to be Apathy 2 down right now for Fuse. Apathy's going to spring into action, finding one last one live for Fuse. It's going to be his Swordfight. Too Quick opening the front door, gets taken out, but it's going to be Sensor with another cap with 1 minute 10 seconds remaining in the game. As they go up by a total of 3 scores. The pressure is on Fuse. They're the ones that have to be aggressive now. The one thing I love about this game type is you're never truly out of it. When you're only down by 2 caps like they are now, you could easily get a relay after relay going if you control the other team's spawn perfectly, pick up the kills. But the one thing working against them is since they're down, they have to be more aggressive. They don't want to rotate back. They don't want to rotate and account for their goal. But that allows for Strictly Business to get a sneaky cap like they just did. So as his Swordfight gets the score for his team, that brings it back to within 2. Is now his Swordfight making it another push. Trying to bring it within 1. He gets shut down. Where's the furthest player pushed up? It will be Sin. And they got to get cap after cap. I think it's actually over as it stands, as there is a 10-second cooldown on the goal capture. And as there are 20 seconds remaining, they needed 2 caps to tie it up. Not going to happen, but there you see the final score. But everyone from Fuse putting in some caps. But Apathy, the MVP, man, 17 and 12, 5 captures to his name. As Strictly Business, they're going to take Blitz on Freight. And the overall map score between both these teams is now 2-1 in Strictly Business's favor as they took over for Icons Conquer. The map score stays the same. So it's 1-1 going into this, now 2-1 in favor of Strictly Business. There's the scoreboard once again. Sin doing some work in the Slayer department, but I mean, you see it there. Didn't get much help from his teammates. And that's the first time we saw Blitz play in a competitive setting. Well, that plays out. Of course, I'm an ejected player, so I'm a little biased there as I love to just sneak behind enemy lines and get an easy score like that. But we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we're seeing domination played again, as it's going to be domination on Strike Zone. Stay tuned for more Call of Duty action.